donors and ask them again to give money. He was trying to extract money out of these people. They finally hit the goal. But it was horrible. It was embarrassing. So the next year, the colonel calls me in the office and says, "Hey, Dave, it's your turn.
No.
You're going to be the combined federal campaign guy." I said, "Okay, we're going to have some fun with this because I'm going to do it my way, and I don't care what happens. I'm just going to do it my way. You're going to give this task to me, I'm going to do it." So anyway, the colonel says to me, "Dave, I don't care what you do. I just don't want to get a phone call from the general at Lowry." Okay. So I left the office, and my attitude was, you get a phone call from the general, that's your problem, not mine. That was my attitude. So I left there. And what I did is I called all the work centers together. I had them all in the room, all the work center points of contact for this. And I said, "Look, the goal this year for the combined federal campaign is this. And I'm going to make it easy for you. But you tell me, here's what I want you to do. I want you to personally go up to everybody in the work center and say, would you like to contribute to the combined federal campaign? That's it. Just ask them if they would like to contribute. And ask them individually, each person, just say, would you like to volunteer to contribute?" That's it. And I said, so our goal this year is 100%, what is it called? 100% not participation, but contact. I don't know what the word was. I don't know what the word I used because contact sounds fun. But 100%, you offer it to 100% of the people. You just say, would you like to contribute? That's it. Now, and I looked at everybody in the room. I said, can you do that? And they said, yeah, we can do that. I said, perfect. If you do that, you've met the goal. That's what I said. And they all left. And then they had a big thermometer out at the front of the base with a red line that, it goes up and up and up and up and up till you reach the top and you reach the goal. And I remember that being there, and I thought, oh, here goes nothing. Because I figured that after last year, no one would give. That's what I thought. I thought nobody's going to give, and the colonel's going to chew me out, he's going to yell at me, and the general's going to call, and I don't care. That was my attitude. And next thing you know, that red line, I go into work every day, and the red line's going up. Why is that happening? And then I go in the next day, the line goes, next thing you know, boom, right to the top.
Wow.
And the colonel calls me and says, geez, you did a good job, Dave. And I said, it was 100% contact. Again, I don't know what the word I used was. 100%
contribution?
No.
Nothing. You just ask everybody.
People did not have to give it, and I stressed that in the meeting. I said, nobody has to give a dime. Just make sure that all I'm asking you to do is please go up to each individual person in your office and ask them personally, would you like to contribute? That's it. They don't have to give anything. I stressed that in the meeting. And so it was like a reverse psychology for some reason. So once you didn't force people to give, they gave. It was crazy.
Saying, oh, you have to contribute.
Yeah.
And then, Scott's looking at me, my buddy, in the office. He goes, what the heck did you do? How'd you do that? So it was a breeze. It was an absolute breeze.
You know what that reminds me?
Go ahead. Well, I was going to say that prior to this happening, to to kick off the campaign. So again, if you kick off something, they always have a big meeting. So they had at the Combined Officer Enlisted Club on base at Buckley, they called everybody together, typical, and they got them all in a big room. And they said, okay, Lieutenant Ives, tell us about the combined federal campaign and how we're going to meet the goal this year. So I'm standing there, Lieutenant Ives, in front of the whole squadron, 120 people, whatever it was, I don't know, 200 people, that happened to be at this meeting. And I said to them, look, everybody, we're just going to make sure that each one of you is given an opportunity to contribute. And that's our goal this year, is to make sure that you each have an opportunity to contribute. And that's all I have to say about the combined federal campaign. Does anyone have any questions? Nobody says anything, because of course nobody wants that. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to know. Let's just get out of here. It's another one of these mandatory meetings that nobody wants to be at. Well, the colonel was there, and he thought, well, nobody's going to ask a question, I'll ask one. So he says, I have a question, Lieutenant Ives. I said, yes. Colonel, what is your question? And the colonel says, he rattles off this big question, and I knew the answer to it. But I thought, no, not letting him off. That's the guy that gave me this task. I am not letting him off. I'm going to give it to him. So when he was done asking the question, I said, Colonel, and I looked at the audience. I looked at all the others that they go, oh, what's Ives going to do now? I said, Colonel, that is a great question. And you know something? Between myself and my twin brother, we know everything there is to know about the combined federal campaign. But guess what? That's one of the questions that my twin brother knows the answer to. They died laughing. Everyone died laughing. And I said, I'm looking at the colonel and he's turning red. And I said, Colonel, I know the answer. He said, never mind, Ives. Never mind. It's all right, never mind. He wouldn't let me answer. I said, okay, everybody, go out and get him. And I think that little conversation was the reason why we hit the goal.
Was because everyone was taking care of people.
So I was a Weisenheimer.